Hello, we'll just wait a few seconds while a few people join in and then we'll get started. Welcome. Let's give it a little bit of a minute. A little bit longer. We're just going to have a nice little stretch tonight, so nothing too crazy. We're all a little bit tired, so we need to make sure we're all stretched up. A little bit longer. Just figuring out a couple of things on my laptop quickly. Welcome. I can hear my dog in the background crying. It's a bit of a moment for him. All right. We just cut a peephole for our dog into the fence, so it's rather funny. He pokes his head out of the peephole and he can kind of keep an eye on us, but it's also a little bit of a mistake because he can also cry 100% of the time. So anyway, so tonight or this afternoon or Shavasana or whatever you want to call it, Jordan and I are just going to have a nice little stretch, bit of mobility, bit of flexibility. We've been getting involved in a lot of the home workouts, and I don't think I've ever been so sore in my life. It's funny how a bit of foreign movement can really. That's horrible. It's funny how a little bit of.
Fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Funny how a little bit of foreign movement can really throw you around. So we just wanted to have a stretch and start off the week on in the right way, I guess, and go from there. I know Bully and Kat have a bit of a cracker session happening at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning on the page. So we didn't want to double load everyone. So. This is a little bit of a routine, I guess, that you can do at home, and we probably don't stretch enough. So this is also massively benefiting us. So we're going to start off. Basically, we're going to have a check-in with all of our bodies. So we're going to kind of roll through different stretches and different exercises from the bottom of our body to the top. And by the end of it, you should be feeling pretty limber and ready to attack the week. We'll have a competition who's the most limber out of Jordan and I, but obviously this is a bit more chill today, so if you have any questions or anything, shoot them through on the comments and have a bit of a chat or whatever. Very chill afternoon to end the Easter weekend and start the new week. So we're just going to start off with, we're just going to stand up. We might lose our heads here. Going to stand up and we're just going to do some standing walkouts just to get the body kind of moving. So just roll down nice and slowly and walk out on your hands as far as you can. You can kind of have a bit of a stretch back if you want, and then slowly walk up your feet. Just working on that flexibility through there. We'll do that about 5 times. So nice and slow. So out on your hands again. Walking back up with your feet. Couple more times. This just kind of gets the body a little bit warm, so we can stretch a little bit better later on. And I can already tell that I'm bloody sore. This morning I woke up and I could barely move. I did Jed's workout yesterday off a bit of a limb. I had nothing to do at home and I saw him go live and I was like, you know what? I'm going to join in. But it was 6 rounds of 5 exercises per time, and God, it hurt. I was a sweaty mess after 12 minutes, so that wasn't very fun. Alright, so we'll jump on our back. I'm just going to go knees side to side. Just kind of feel, our physio always says, Wormsy always says, feel left compared to right. So let's start left. So you just want to have a nice little roll out here. Jordan's back's cracking, so your back might crack. So you just, a few rolls. Another one we do in the kayak is just legs like this, and you just kind of have a feel of each hip flexor. Apologies, I know Kat's joined in for the really bad terminology. Not the best with our body parts, but that's okay. So you can kind of feel like which hip's tighter, which hip's looser. Just a couple of times. I can already feel my right hip's a bit tighter. I've had hip surgery on the right side, so a little bit tighter on the right side. What about you, Jordan?
I think I'm actually pretty even.
Pretty even. How good. Next we're going to do just a few hamstring curls. So you're just going to have your hand behind your knee. So again on your back, one leg out. This is not a great angle, but that's okay. And just going to go up and hold, back down. So we'll just do 10 on each side. You can have your toe pointed, so it kind of takes the stretch in a different way, or if you have your toe back, it kind of pulls it more towards the back. So we'll just do that 10 times.
This is a good one to do before you train because it's a bit dynamic as well. So you get a bit of blood flowing in your leg.
6, 7. And kayaking, it's super important to have nice flexible hamstrings, which most of us don't have.
I don't know.
Swap sides. You might also feel it in the front of your leg as well. 1. So if your hamstrings are tight, you know, it can lead to like a bit of lower back tightness. So it's always the first thing our physio checks, which is good. Couple more. Alright. Now if you've got a towel or a band or something like that, I've got a towel here, Jordan's got a towel, but even if you've got one of these bands or a rope or something, we're just going to do a couple of side to side actions. So back on your back, so you just want to put your towel around your foot and your leg up. So again, this is hamstring. So we're going to go my way first.
Yep.
So we're going to go out to the side like this, and so, hello. Horrible angle. So we're going to stretch our adductor. Is that adductor? Adductor. I have no idea. Kat, you can come in if you want to tell me if I'm right or wrong.
I'm going to move over a bit.
And then we're going to go over to this side, so you're stretching the other side. Good, eh? So we'll just do that a couple of times on the right leg. So back over. Let's stagger ourselves a little bit. Back over. This is him getting out of the hamstring stretches. Back over to the other side. I can feel when I go this way, I get like a little bit nervy down the back. Oh, now you're eating my toes.
Ew.
Ew. We'll go back over one more time. So it's important as well when you do stretches to not just always be static. So you want to be a little bit dynamic and a little bit dynamic and keep it moving. Ready? And timing. So when you do this one, try to keep your opposite shoulder on the ground.
Oh, this is not nice.
This is not nice. Alright, swap legs. Clearly I like pink. Alright, so we'll go back up. We'll go over my way.
Yep.
So over this way. Oh, my back just cracked. Go over this way. To get a better stretch, you've got to breathe into it as well, so you can kind of like rock into it with your breath. And then over. Also suggest if you're doing it with someone else, have more room.
Yeah.
We kind of don't all fit in on the frame. That's alright though. Over this way.
Oh, this way is sickening. Oh, sorry.
Back over. I feel like our physio is going to be really proud of us stretching because we always say we're going to. And to be honest, quite often we don't.
100%.
One more time through both of those. I guess at the moment as well, it's more important than ever to make sure you're stretching, because obviously we don't have as much access to a physio and massage and everything, so we need to kind of self-manage a little bit better. Okay, timing.
Out of routine as well.
Yeah.
Because we can do whatever we want, whenever we want. At the moment.
How good. No schedule. Alright, next one maybe just starting your boot. Alright, on to the next one. I wrote myself a list so I don't forget too much. So if you have any questions, just shoot them through for us. Okay, so now we're going to go hamstring. So we're going to go up like this. What's this, your hip flexor?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Ollie. Got a little grom that one's
Ollie,
next
hip
door to us. We're hip flexoring. So obviously it's just pulling down here. What did Kat say? Great adductor stretch. You're basically a physio. Thank you. I spent years learning this. I don't know the difference between an adductor and an abductor. D and B, but that's okay.
I need to use a roller so I don't
Fall over.
fall over.
And just bring your arm up and just stretch away from it. Brings it on a little bit more here. And then we're going to go down just to get a little bit more on the hamstring. So you can kind of, if you want, like rock back and forward through this, just to get, if you're struggling to get back a little bit more. Oh yeah. All right, we'll go to the other side. Shocking balance. All right. So you can kind of like sink your bum forward into it, but don't like overextend your back or anything. Just get a nice stretch through the front, reach up, all over. All right. And then rock back. Oh. Horrible flexibility. So back and forward.
I think I can't do the forward. I just got to do the back.
Obviously everybody has their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, this is not my strength at all.
Alright. So next, what are we doing? We're going to go in our front and we're going to go into, I think it's called a pigeon pose.
I
so
consider this a strength.
a strength. So we're going to go foot forward like this. And we're just going to rock into it. Okay, Chris. So you can kind of like, if it's hurting a bit, you can kind of like rock back and forth into it. Oh, thanks. Chris is a Sparky, he lives with us. He's just doing all this Sparky work at home. We now have light. Excellent. Alright, rock back and forth. If you're really flexible, which I know a few people are, you can kind of get your chest right down, but there's no way I'm doing that.
Yeah, I thought I was really good at that.
On the elbows, that's it.
There's no way I'm getting my chest on that.
No. You can probably hear the dog in the background still, so we'll swap sides.
In this one, you'll definitely notice one side's tighter than the other. I know my left side's always tighter.
Oh. Ow. So you should be feeling this one obviously through your bum, through your glute. I feel it kind of like a little bit into the top of my leg as well, but you shouldn't feel any pinching or anything, I don't think. So if you are, make sure you stop. We're always told like not to do any stretches that, you know, obviously are pinching or anything, because you don't want to do more harm than good. So just kind of stay within your range, within your mobility, I guess. Alright. So next one we're going to do is I feel like I'm going to call this thread the needle, but I don't really know. So we're going to go...
Weakness.
So you can actually use a roller if you want, if you've got a roller. But so basically you go under your arm here, and you can, at the end there, you can get a little bit of a stretch through the back of your shoulder if you lean into it nicely. And so as you get that, then you come up and follow your arm through and reach around as much as you can. So if you do it with a roller, you can do it like this. So you can put your hand on the roller like that, kind of stretch through, get a nice stretch, and then rotate around and try to follow it up. And stretch through. We'll do 6 to 8 on each side. Woo, I am stiff. As a kayaker, we want to make sure obviously we have pretty good rotation.
Yes.
Run down. I feel like that's happening. There's one more on this side. Sorry. And so sometimes, I'll get rid of the roller. Sometimes if I'm really sore, like in between my shoulder blades, just kind of sitting in to this stretch like this, and you can kind of lean your bum wherever, it really feels good. So I kind of use this for that as well. So roll through, rotate around. And again, one side will probably feel better than the other. And so the sides that feel worse, you obviously want to make sure you're really working on them and making it as even as you can. So maybe, you know, if your left side's worse, do a few extra reps on your left side. One more. This was probably horrible
Oh yeah.
technique, but that's okay.
I don't think I demonstrated how to do it all that well.
So we're going to go onto your belly now. We're just going to do a bit of an ab stretch. I think that's what it is. And if this like pinches your lower back, don't do it. But basically you're just pushing up, relax through your shoulders. You should feel it like through there and maybe even through your hips a little bit.
This stretch always reminds me of swimming training. I'm pretty sure it's the only stretch I used to do before swimming.
Swimming training.
Yeah, I don't know
That
why.
was years ago.
Yeah.
If you're not comfortable as well, you can just go up to like your elbows or wherever is easiest. So you want to make sure you're relaxing. When you're stretching, you want to make sure you're not tensing the whole time and breathing into it. Couple more of these, or you can hold it as well, but I kind of like to move in and out of stretches. Alright, and just hop onto your knees, and we're just going to go arms out the front. I've got to straighten my mat. Arms out the front, and so we're just going to walk from side to side. And then once you get to one side, really try to sink in. So take a few deep breaths once you get to one side to really sink in and feel that stretch. So slowly walk your arms to the side. And then you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, try to really stretch into it. So this gets right through there. And the more you lean into it, obviously, the more it stretches. And so let's walk over to the other side. Not graceful at all. Breathe into it. Like I said, as you breathe out, try to sink into it a bit more. Alright, back to the other side again. Breathe into it. Ooh, this one's hurting. Ow. One more. Back to the other side. Breathe into it. And you should feel as you go through these reps more, it should obviously get easier and easier, and you should have more range, or maybe it'll hurt less or whatever it is. Alright, back to the middle. Alright, so now we're going to do adductor stretch maybe. So it's your leg out to the side. I think, okay, we're going to go opposite ways. This will be fun when we go the same way. And then you're just going to rock back into it. So obviously you'll feel it coming through there. So maybe do like 10 rocks each side. So it's like a really good specific stretch through there. I feel like I don't stretch this muscle enough.
I know I don't.
I'm a lot tighter on the right side on this stretch, which I'm well aware of. Alright, we'll swap sides. Stagger ourselves. Rock back. How good. Couple more. Ow. It's amazing, I've actually got a little bit of a sweaty forehead. Stretching actually hurts sometimes. One more.
I'll tell you what, I'm not finding my chi.
I'm not finding his chi. We were saying, should we wear shoes? Nah, because we want to find our chi. We want to be one with the ground. Alright, so we're going to do an archer stretch next. So this is just a classic kayak, or I feel like all sports do it. What are you doing?
I'm resting.
Okay, so we're going to go onto our side. I might go sideways so you can kind of see what we're doing. So you're going to go onto your side, basically like this, and you want to stretch it out as far as you can this way, and bring your arm back. And we're going to cross with our arms, because we're cute. And then we're going to come back. And you can do that 5 times. So try and get further when you go this way every rep. And then when you come back, some people's shoulders might not touch the ground. So obviously try to breathe into it and try and get your kind of shoulders, both shoulders touching while keeping your hips nice and level. So a couple more. Breathing out as you pull your arm back. Should also, you could probably feel it in your pec, but also it'll help your rotation, I think. Clearly not a physio. Alright, swap sides. Go back on the mat now. Oh, we can go on time. Are you ready?
Yep.
Go.
Wow.
1, 2. So try and breathe into it. When we were in Italy last year, before World Champs, we'd have stretching sessions in one of the villas we had. So it had like a lounge room, and there was like 10 of us girls all sprawled along the floor because it's too hot to stretch outside, and it was kind of the biggest area we had. And dead set, we were doing this exercise like on top of each other like this, and you had to try and be as in time as you could, but nothing like a bit of the under the arm tickle. You had feet in your face. It was quite horrific, really. You wouldn't want to not like feet that much. One more. Alright, we're going up onto our knees now. I just want to go a forearm stretch. We'll often have quite tight forearms. In fact, my forearms are so tight that my fingers don't straighten sometimes. They're actually getting good because we're obviously not paddling as much at the moment, so you want to make sure you can lean into it, kind of whatever's comfy. One of my take-home exercises that the physio gives me is just stretching every finger, which seems really small and insignificant, but for me, if I know if my forearms are tight or if my fingers are too curled or whatever, then I'm going to get forearm blow up pretty bad, and that's never fun at the end of a 500-meter race. So you just rock into it as much as you can. You might also put your forearms forward or your hands forward and rock forward if you want. Kind of whatever's best for you, I guess. There's no rule with a forearm stretch. All right. Just sitting down. Just go. You're standing up, sitting down on a chair, whatever you want. So just a bit of a nerve glide. So obviously be careful with this one, but you just bring your arm out like that, and you can look away, and you'll feel it a little bit down here. So arm out like that, look away, and just be really careful with this one. Obviously, be really slow and stuff, within your limits. Try and have good posture as you're doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
So do like, 5, 6, 7, whatever on each side. And you'll definitely feel with this, especially, that you'll have one better side than the other.
My right's horrible.
So if you've got one better side or one worse side, make sure you're kind of focusing on that. You can focus on different things in different ways. There's lots of different ways you can stretch your nerves, I think. But I'm no physio, so I'm not going to go recommending anything. Alright, so now we've done that, just obviously just a real simple neck stretch. So you can just kind of bring your neck down like this, off to the side, down to the side like this. You can look into your armpit, you can get it nice here. Just want to kind of work on every angle of it to kind of feel, again, where you're most tight. When we go into physios and get assessments or whatever, they often get us to kind of look left and look right, and they can see kind of which way you're moving better, and obviously you want it to be as even as possible. So just whatever's comfy for you. We're nearly done. All right. And then we're going to Shavasana.
What?
It's my most favourite yoga pose.
Oh.
Just straight back.
Oh, this is how you get your chi.
This is how you get your chi. Oh yeah, you're good at Shavasana.
This is my thing.
This came highly recommended from our physio friend Kat. You have to have a Shavasana in every workout. It's a must. I Shavasana most nights for about 8 to 9 hours, and it's bliss, I tell you. Wow. Anyway, so that's all we've got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's obviously a bit more of a chill workout, but I think stretching, you can still call it a bit of a workout, because obviously you're still kind of achieving things as you go and ticking off things, and you'll be definitely ready for the next workout. I know Bully's on tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. They've got a bit of a fun workout ready for everyone, and I'm looking forward to joining in for that. Looking forward to a bit of a sweat sesh. So thanks for joining. Jordan and I are up again on Friday. We'll have a bit of a fun workout. We're gonna do an animal workout. I don't really know what that is at the moment, but we'll workshop it and we'll come back. Yeah, you know.
Good.
So our gym coaches like to name exercises after animals, and I think sometimes they decide that a random exercise will just be some random animal. So we're going to go and operate under that premise and see what we come up with. So anyway, enjoy your night. Happy stretching if you want to stretch some more, or happy Shavasana-ing, and we'll see you next time. You.